Welcome, you're watching the V News Daily broadcast. The stories covered in today's programs are:
Vietnam targets 90,000 guest workers in 2012. Festival marks Nhop Hoi Dom Da victory. UNESCO listing helps promote Soan singing.
The Overseas Labor Management Department has set a target to send 90,000 workers abroad this year 2012.
According to the department, a member of the Ministry of Labor, Work Invalids and Social Affairs, more than 88,000 Vietnamese workers was sent to work in nearly 40 countries and territories last year, mostly in the Republic of Korea, Taiwan, Japan and Malaysia. A recently signed national agreement on Japan's recruitment of Vietnamese nurses and hospital orderlies has provided a new opportunities for Vietnamese laborers to get well-paid jobs in this market. Vietnam will strengthen vocational training for workers in the healthcare and service sectors in order to meet demands in traditional markets. The countries will also study and develop new markets with seasonal work, including Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Russia, Finland, and Sweden.
The Nội Bài International Airport was extremely busy during the Tet holiday. Reports show that more than 27,000 passengers entered and left Hanoi on 299 flights via the airport in the first 3 days of the new year.
The passengers was mostly foreign tourists and overseas Vietnamese who enter Hanoi to visit the homeland and people who left the capital city to travel overseas. Most international tourists who arrived in Hanoi during the new year came from China, Japan, Taiwan, the Republic of Korea, European and American countries. The figures show a sharp increase in the number of passengers who made entry and exit procedures at the Nội Bài International Airport compared to the same period last year.
The beginning of the year also marks a very significant event in the history, the victory of the Ngọc Hồi Đống Đa battle against the Chinese Qing dynasty. On this occasion, tens of thousands of people from all regions in the country have flocked to the Quang Trung Museum in Phu Phong Town, Tây Sơn District, Central Bình Định Province, to join a festival marking the 223rd anniversary of the victory.
The festival opened with an incense and flower offering ceremony in memory of King Quang Trung Nguyễn Huệ and Tây Sơn soldiers. A series of cultural, artistic and sports activities and martial art performances have taken place from January 26 and 27, or the 4th and 5th days of the first lunar month. In the early springs of 1789, Nguyễn Huệ, who was later proclaimed Emperor Quang Trung, led his army from Huế Imperial Palace to Hanoi, which was then occupied by the Qing army. He launched a surprise attack and defeated more than 29,000 Qing soldiers during a 5-day Lunar New Year battle.
Da Sĩ village in Hanoi's Hà Đông district is well known for the traditional fabric dragon making craft. Unfortunately, to date, there's only an 83-year-old Lê Ngọc Nguyện still preserving and promoting this tradition by sticking with his career as a dragon maker. Here, people call him the Dragon Raiser. Let's see the story.
The dragon making craft has existed for hundreds of years. Da Sĩ ancestors plaited straw for fire, which then looked like dragons breathing fire. The idea of making straw dragons for entertainment was born. In the old days, dragons were usually made of bamboo, wood and iron, making them very heavy. Da Sĩ dragons have been present at almost all traditional festivals nationwide, including Huom Pagoda, Tay Pagoda, Dom Da and Quoc Tu Sam festivals. Time has elapsed and the dragon making seems to have sunk into oblivion, apart from the old artisan, Lê Nhop Nguyen, who was determined to conserve the craft. Making dragons requires 4 skills: weaving, sewing, drawing and moulding. Nguyen's dragons are far different from traditional ones, as he uses lighter bamboo splints to make the frame, cloth to make the skin, and foam rubber to make horns, jaws and gills. Thanks to this design innovation, dragon dancers can dance more freely because the fabric dragons are much lighter. Nguyen's dragons have also flown to the US. In the year 2000, Dr. Cater, Professor of Asian Culture from Harvard University, came to order 4 dragons to serve his teaching. The image of the dragon is indispensable in great celebrations of the country, or festivals such as Lunar New Year and Mid-Autumn festivals. Despite his old age, Nguyen is still making fabric dragons with deep passion in an effort to bring joy, prosperity and development to all families. His deeds have helped to preserve this unique type of Vietnamese folk culture.
Efforts to preserve traditional swan singing have received a boost after the art form was listed by the UNESCO as an example of world cultural heritage that needs urgent protection.
Swan singing is a vocal art of villagers in the ancestral land of Phu Tho. It was closely associated with festivals and spiritual requirements. Swan was read with the slip of the tongue of the word Xuân, spring in English. The art form is usually performed in front of the communal house during village festivals in spring. Based on legends and historical, archaeological and social records, researchers say that swan singing first appeared a long time ago, from the time when the Hung kings established the nation. In ancient times, the Van Lang people organized swan singing events in spring, marking the start of the singing and dancing festival to welcome the new year, with the aim of not only enjoying entertainment but also of praying for favorable weather for their bumper crops and congratulating the Hung king. Swan singing is a highly valued phenomenon, including values of history, culture, music, dance, and community. It is one of the cultural heritages which came out into society from the dawn of our country. The endangered vocal art from the northern province of Phu Tho is many hundreds of years old, but the art form's professional practitioners now number only 120. To conserve and promote this art form, Swan Guilds in Phu Tho province organize training courses for younger generation in the province with the aims of preserving and promoting folk singing. However, swan singers agreed it is difficult to learn all the tunes of swan singing because it has a great number of tunes. I followed my grandmother in joining the guild when I was 15 years old. The antique swan melodies are very difficult to learn. However, our performers in the guild exert their best efforts to comprehend the melodies in order to contribute to preserving folk singing. Recent work on promoting the art has aimed to hold and reverse the declining numbers of swan singers. The number of swan artisans aged between 70 years old is 69, 31 of whom used to perform the art before 1945. However, only 8 artisans are skilled enough to teach the art to younger learners. The 30 local temples and communal houses that used to serve as venues for swan singing now dropped to just 13. Swan singing is an interesting art form. It presents the lifestyle of the ancestral land of Phu Tho. I think that it deserves to be recognized as a world intangible cultural heritage of mankind. According to folk cultural researcher Nguyễn Khắc Sương, swan is a multi-component form of the arts, which acting and singing containing folk characteristics. This factor has helped swan singing to make itself attractive. The difference between swan and other ritual folk singing is that Swan singing guilds strike deep roots into the villages where they perform, helping develop swan singing in the localities. Therefore, it can be said that swan singing contains many local characteristics. That's what makes the art form unique and valuable.
That's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.